Welcome to the Building Success interview series, where we dive deeper into industry leaders from the construction industry. We try to learn a bit more about their careers, what makes them special, what makes their company special, and just really what sets them apart from everybody else in industry. So we hope you enjoy the series. Always looking for feedback, and if you want to get involved, please do let us know. So Tom, first of all, thank you for taking the time to sit with us today and learn more about your experience, about your time at Rund. For those that don't know you or know your business, do you mind just explaining a bit more about your career, how you got to be an associate director within Rund, and a bit more about the business, please?
So I started my career as a building surveyor, actually.
Yeah.
I started my degree in Northumbria University in Newcastle, and did my degree on a sandwich placement basis, so third year was in industry. I then did my placement year in EC Harris, as it was then, Arcadis.
A while ago.
Absolutely, well, not that long ago. And then continued working for them and did my final year as day release, transfer to Nottingham-Trent. I was lucky enough in EC Harris that they were multi-disc. I was able to change service delivery paths. I found I was more interested in project management. So moved across to that, specialised in affordable housing and regeneration, and I did that both in the Midlands and in London. And then a 10-year period, worked for various developers in London, and then returned back to the Midlands, and an opportunity came up at Rund, where I came in. The office was relatively small then. We'd been in Birmingham for a couple of years, and the objective was to come in as a managing surveyor to assist in growing our presence in the Midlands, as well as growing the headcount and our service delivery. That was 2 years ago, and just this year in March I was promoted to Associate Director.
Well done.
Thank you very much. So Rund itself, as I said, we're a multi-disc consultancy. We've got a headcount, we've just hit, or just about to hit, 100 employees. That's across our 4 locations, which is Bristol, Southampton, Birmingham and London. Delivery of project management, quantity surveying, employers agents. We have a very strong clerk of works team as well, nationally. We deliver nationally from, I think we go as far south as Devon currently, and we're as far north as Newcastle. And that's across a variety of schemes. Mainly in the residential sector, but that ranges from build to rent, affordable housing, purpose-built student accommodation, PBSA, as well as some mainstream resi as well. We also have specialised service lines such as that as joint venture monitoring and technical due diligence, which we find our clients are buying into more and more pre-acquisition of their assets. Yeah,
brilliant. And you mentioned that after you spent time with the consultancy, you worked with a developer, or a few developers in London doing different sort of asset classes as well before moving back. I think COVID to the fourth part of that move as well, back into the Midlands, but obviously it's worked out quite well. What is it you think that's setting Rund apart, and why have you managed to grow in terms of sort of headcount and clients so quickly over the last sort of 4 or 5 years? Because there wasn't really much of a Rund presence pre-COVID, as far as I'm aware.
There was a Rund presence in Southampton and London. Southampton was our original office, which was opened 37 years ago. London, I believe, opened roughly 10 years ago, headed up by our executive director, Paul Belfield. For me, I love working for Rund and the organisation itself, and why I imagine a number of people do as well. There's a lot of cross-organisation collaboration. Collaboration is one of our key focuses in the business. I think within the first 6 months of starting at Rund, I'd spoken or met most people, whether that be face-to-face or on Teams, just purely because of that, like I say, cross-organisation collaboration. We have very structured and tracked personal development plans. We have one-to-ones monthly, we have biannual appraisals, and with that as well, we have grad to senior management development programs as well. We have rolling CPD, so insights from industry experts. This year as well, each associate director was requested to undertake a CPD to deliver to the whole business.
So it's at all levels, from sort of graduate through to director and everybody else, So it doesn't stop and you get to a point and then you're left alone. It's consistent,
No, and that leads into, we have tailored or personal development plans in respect of what your career objectives are, what you enjoy doing, what you're successful at doing. In terms of succession planning as well, each individual has their own succession plan, which is monitored by the board also, as well as the fact that we've had employees which have started in one role and have changed course into a completely different role.
Okay.
So we've had members of the business that have started in administration roles, and now they are undertaking surveying delivery roles through our training. Obviously,
so because they're interested in it, they've learned more, they sort of come maybe a bit later.
Absolutely.
Later, yeah.
Administration as well moved into HR and the people team. In addition to building surveyors, for example, when they've entered the business, they've maybe found out they enjoy technical due diligence as being their main focus, so they move more into a TDD focused role. So it's very much the fact, like I say, we listen to our employees to understand how they want to progress, because that not only benefits them, it benefits the business as well, and also retains them, retains that talent within the industry, within Rund.
And that's definitely, obviously, we spoke about attracting people, but keeping them as well. I think most people think recruiters are just about sort of getting people in and getting people out, but what we try and do is learn why companies are successfully keeping them and sort of make sure they stay in the business. And one of the biggest things we hear from candidates mid to sort of senior levels to why they want to move is because their training has stopped. They don't know where or how they're going to get to that next level, whether it's a senior to an associate director. It's having that real clear plan put in place over the course of 6, 12, 18, 12 months keeps you interested. And I think what Caroline's explained to me, obviously sort of our head of people, is that everyone has that individualised, because not everybody wants to be a director. So as long as you as the employee know what they want, you can tailor that service for them. It's not sort of one size fits all and you have to every 6 months do this. It's whatever you want to do, whether it's changing in sector or going to different offices. That's sort of quite open to you at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very much encouraged as well to visit other offices, collaborate with other offices, even if it's a case of you've just joined a business and you want to get to know more people in the office. Go spend a day in London. Go to the London office. As I said, it's a very, very inclusive team in all the offices, and obviously, from the benefit of having communication tools like Teams or like our annual Christmas party, which is a business-wide one.
Quite good fun, I hear.
Exactly. Absolutely. That enhances the ability to get to know people as well. I mean, one of the best examples of a strong team culture that we have and cross-office collaboration is Wellborn Garden Village, which is a scheme we're delivering. And that's being delivered across 3 Rund locations. That's a 20-year programme, 6,000 homes, of which we're working on the first phase. But as I say, that's being delivered across Bristol, Southampton and London. And that sort of scheme does not gain traction, does not gain success from our consultancy delivery side without having that strong...
You're linked upon you quite well.
Absolutely. Communication is key. And like I say, it's that strong team culture that we breed internally to our employees. It's interesting you're saying, obviously, the strong succession plans, as you're saying, obviously, if someone starts in the industry, where they want to go within Rund and how we support that. We have the strong succession plans which are built into the structure of the business. We nurture talent. A number of senior leaders have risen through the ranks, so they've started as assistants or graduates, one of whom is now associate director. So there's always that opportunity.
And real life sort of examples as well. It's not just sort of saying to me, I'm in the interview, come here as a grad and one day it'll all be yours. It's here's an example of someone that's done that in various offices
100%.
As well.
And I think is key as well is not is the transparency that there is between the employees and the board. There is that clear line of communication. There's the listening to individuals by the board.
It doesn't always happen.
No, exactly.
So a bit of a lip service sometimes, or coming problems, then it's sort of swept under the carpet, whereas you guys seem to, within a month or two, action those requests.
Absolutely. I mean, an example of us listening to, of the board listening to the people over the past 2 years, for example, the people plan that's been rolled out. It's ensured people feel valued. We have regular reviews of our policies, updates, family leave enhancement, benefits that are offered. And also we have our regular socials within our office, which we have a set budget for that, which the board approves, the board are happy for us to spend. Because it enhances that work life and that work personal kind of.
And so the offices you work in, sort of give that example. We work here as well, which is right in the middle of Birmingham. The office in London's right in the middle of London, very smart as well. So we are making it as easy as possible for people to have that balance of an easy, accessible office when they need it, go to their clients when they need it, and then say to the sort of social things after work as well.
Absolutely, I mean, all of our offices are within 10 minutes at least of a train station. Southampton, for example, 10 minutes, and then Waterloo, as you know, is across the road. We've got New Street down the road, and Bristol's just around the corner from Temple Meads. We moved into a new office there roughly 3 months ago. Which is very nice indeed.
I need to get down there, need to have a look at. With all that sort of being said, Tom, I guess to sort of put you on the spot on. A lot of part of your role rather now is obviously using the BD, me-to-me clients, obviously sort of networking a lot across the Midlands. What is the USP, or how would you elevate pitch runs to any potential candidates that might want to work for you, or these clients that may want you to bid on some of their work?
I'd say that we obviously have a national and regional presence.
Yeah.
To say we're up and down the country.
Yeah.
We have a very tailored solution, or a tailored solution approach to our clients' requirements. So I think from my perspective, and I understand it, and it's very embedded in me, when I worked on developer side, whilst you might have been the client sat at the table, you had a number of internal stakeholders above you that you were reporting to, who were your internal clients. And I think taking that approach with our clients, whether it comes from a reporting format or a template, how that is structured for them to make their life easier and make their reporting easier internally, allows us to develop that trusted advisor role with our clients. I mean, 80% of our business was our target for new business last year.
That's a lot.
We hit 88%, which is demonstrable of the relationships we build with our clients.
Yeah.
Our intention is to be the consultant of choice, and I think that comes from, like I say, being able to preempt what your client needs, understanding the ins and outs of their organisation in order to have that very strong working relationship and, like I say, trusted advisor role, if you will.
I think it's a sort of people first business. Obviously technical, a lot of people can technically do a role as a PM or QS or an EA. One thing that's come across for me is that, I spoke to one of your internal recruiters earlier, who wants to know about the person. Tell me more about this person, who they are, what they do, what sort of character they are. Because every single person, as far as I'm aware, is like a client representative. They're out there meeting clients, they're out there sort of at events, and you want them all to upskill on that part of it, as well as the technical side as well, I suppose.
Absolutely. We actively encourage networking.
Yeah.
Because it's that ability to strike up conversations with individuals. It gives you that ability to showcase the organisation. And as you said, it's very much about, is the person the right fit for us? Are we the right fit for the person? And sometimes they might not be successful in an interview, not because of their skill set, just the fact that our culture might not work with them, or vice versa. But that is key, and I think it's becoming more and more key throughout the industry of having the right fit, because you want to have that staff retention,
100%,
which is so important, whether it be for business morale, but also for that continuity to provide you with your clients as well.
Also, it's brand awareness. You want everybody to be able to speak and meet with clients and know that they're going to represent you in a good way. If we sort of move on from Run now and go a bit more into you, what do you think has been the most either influential project or the sort of favourite project you've ever worked on? It could be Run, it could be something else in the last sort of 10, 15 years.
So I've probably got a couple of schemes, two of which were Run.
Brilliant.
One of which was Arcadis. That was a scheme for Camden. That was a regen scheme. That was a knockdown and rebuild of the entire development. That's when I kind of hit the ground running with my pre-contract project management, development management skills. And it was Camden's largest scheme of its kind at the time, and it was also a first passive house scheme in the UK, which was
so you learned a lot on that as well.
Conditioned and planning. Absolutely. I think from a Run perspective, there are two particular favourites, one of which is a Granger scheme, which was Queen's Road in Nottingham. Nottingham, very close to my heart. That was 340 apartments, a mixture of studios, 1s, 2s and 3s, with amenity space. Granger was the forward funder, so we acted as project monitor on that. We also acted as employer's agent for the amenity space fit out, and also clerk of works. That's a beautiful scheme. The brickwork facade on it, and it's been commented on by so many of the planning officers at Nottingham City Council as well, and that's been used as a benchmark for other schemes in the area when they've been given feedback about their design.
So sort of raising that bar for everybody else to come and
absolutely. And Granger provides a fantastic product, and obviously the largest registered landlords in the UK. My other favourite scheme is a scheme we're doing in Citra Living. Again, which is being forward funded by Citra. We're project monitor and clerk of works on that. That's a conversion of Grade 2 listed warehouse along the canal in Nottingham.
Another Nottingham one.
Another Nottingham one, absolutely. It's actually...
is that coincidence?
We're looking to further spread into the East Midlands. A building actually I used to go to when I was younger. There's a comedy club that has a bar, and it's now being converted to a resi. And I think the actual heritage of that building and the way it's being done so sympathetic.
And they're keeping it sort of as much as they can.
Well, it's completely, the facades are being completely retained alongside even the shutters that were the loading bays when canal boats came down the canal. The barges,
there we go.
With their cargo. So it's a complete fit out. It's one of Citra's more bespoke schemes as well, because Citra are undertaking a number, obviously growing their stock quite rapidly, and that's through bulk acquisition with strategic partnerships with house builders, whereas this is a more bespoke scheme because it's multifamily as opposed to single family, and it's like I said, it's a three-party forward funded, so funder, developer and contractor. So yes, that's
you involved in all of that.
Yes,
is
absolutely.
That one of your personal sort of projects that you're working on? As many of the people in Runs involved in that? What sort of team have you got? Is it Clark Works that you said?
Clark Works. So on both the Granger and the British Waterways, we undertook the technical due diligence on behalf of the client, which a lot of clients are now buying into hugely because it provides that holistic approach from the inset. We undertook the technical due diligence on British Waterways. I did, and then led to completion of agreement with the developer and the funder, Citra, and as I say, we're delivering project manager. Clark Works on the scheme as well. I'm heading it up, and I'm being assisted as well by one of our younger surveyors.
Brilliant, fantastic. And within the last sort of 10, 15 years of your career, has there ever been sort of one person or a group of people, any advice you've been given by an individual that's really stuck out, it's really sort of stuck in your head, whether it's a lecturer or an old manager or boss or somebody think, I want to be like them, or that sort of really inspired me, and you had a bad day, you sort of think back to that time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually a very good friend of mine who I met originally professionally. She worked as the operations manager at EC Harris when I joined. Her degree was in quantity surveying, and she diverged into ops, and then subsequently she's undertaken an MSc, changed route in terms of sector, and now she's COO of a national organisation which isn't construction based. She's always given me guidance, whether it be from a decision-making process, not told me what decision to make, but advised me.
Coach you along the way with a mentor type
that process, absolutely. And also from her role as COO, I learned from her, and obviously that provides an insight into how our board make their decisions, and obviously gives me greater buy-in to the decisions that the board make, because I understand it.
And I suppose why you're on that sort of fast track now for director and that leadership role.
Ideally.
This is working. It's working well as well. And I guess to flip it, you're in a senior position. I think sometimes we can forget the influence that we can have on people around us or within industries and what have you as well. Is there any advice you'd give anybody that's perhaps thinking about getting into construction, whether it's project management, building surveying, or just generally as to what they should do or how they can better their career and make themselves stand out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even from making decisions about, when we made our decisions about our GCSEs or our A-levels, it in theory dictated what
it's hard at 15 to decide what you're going to do for your life.
100%. Whereas now, my advice would be don't have a knee-jerk reaction in terms of making your decisions about even as early as GCSE. Do what you enjoy and do what you're good at, because if you enjoy that, you're going to flourish at it. You need to remember that go to university if you want to do humanity, do a humanity, because organisations, Run being a prime example, we undertake apprenticeships, we undertake graduate training programs, and you can have non-COG degrees in order to do that, because we have a very strong structured training program. In fact, our graduate recruitment drive applications are being accepted from the end of this month, with the graduate assessment day, which is an annual thing, in the beginning part of 2025. And from that, if you are a non-COG, you would join the business, and then you would undertake a master's, which the business supports you through that process. If you have taken a COG degree, building surveying, project management, construction management, etc., you'd start on a graduate training process anyway. So very much a case of don't overthink it, which I'm guilty of doing a lot of the time.
I think don't make a permanent decision on a sort of a knee-jerk reaction to say,
do what you enjoy doing, talk to people in the industry, get as much experience as you can.
A lot of people we've found don't know about project management and building surveying at 15 or 16 or 17, unless there's sort of families involved in it, so they might come to it later on at 20, 21, 22, and then it's relatively easy. So as long as you're intelligent, you've got the right sort of skill set and right mentality, you can move into that
Yes.
field as well. As those doing internships, working at Easter, working in the summer, working for free, getting experience, going work for a PM,
Absolutely.
a building surveyor, an architect, see what sort of fits.
We facilitate work experience.
Yeah.
We facilitate, like I say, the graduate program, the apprenticeship, and also, if you wanted to have a taste of what it was like, to work in a consultancy, for example, it's a case of getting in touch with us, advising us who you are, what you're interested in, and seeing how we can facilitate giving you a taste of the industry, so that you're better informed when you come to make a decision. You might not enjoy it, you might enjoy it, but then at least you know.
With all that to be said, obviously we learned loads about Rund, loads about your career, your projects. Coming towards the end of the year now, as this is being filmed, and we have no crystal ball, but what do you think may have the biggest influence on our industry?
The biggest thing, the obvious thing, is the government. National Planning Policy Framework, I believe the consultation ended in September, with the announcement made on the back of that consultation in January. A lot of people are waiting. So
we've heard a lot of people waiting. It's like dogs in the traps, aren't they?
See what that brings. I mean, the growth of BTR, build to rent and co-living, I believe will further grow. Particularly given the fact that social rent is going to become more prevalent within the affordable housing market, as opposed to focusing on first-time buyers. With that, obviously, the access to the market from a first-time buyer perspective is going to be harder. So you're looking to utilise or live in a facility that provides that level of quality, that brand, those facilities.
Like a Granger building or something.
A Granger, a Citra, for example. You've also got to think about the political stability in the world, and have also, like I say, the government's policies that are coming out, and that will affect the international investment, and that will affect local investments as well. So it all hinges on the planning policies that will emerge in.
We'll see what happens next few years.
I mean, we're ramped up to deal with that. We have a headcount. We actively recruit. We have we have a vast number of experts within the organisation, and a vast number of schemes and experience that we deliver in order to facilitate that demand, if you will.
I suppose you, having been client side, built those things you say from sort of that side of the table as well, you know exactly what they're thinking about, what the investors want, what the return on investment they need from putting in schemes, and also what's going to happen in the market in the next 12 months. But Tom, it's been really good to get to know you better, learn more about your career, learn more about Rund, and sort of see what's going to happen. Obviously, we'll see in the next 12 months what does happen with planning policy. We can't control it, but we'll keep sort of spinning and working our way to work with it. But that now concludes our time today with Tom French from Rund and the Building Success interview series. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've learned quite a bit. If you want to learn any more or speak to Tom or I, there will be obviously contact details below this. But it's been really enjoyable. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Aaron.
Cheers.